Hello everyone, Joking Jackson here. And 2016 wasn't a good year for some people. For movies and animated, they were good. But now let's look in the future for 2017. Welcome everyone to the top 10 most anticipated movies, in my opinion, for 2017. This will be the animated movie version, and I might make a live action top 10 for the future. But now let's get on with the countdown. Number 10, the star on our list, is the Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Oh, once wise people once said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You can improve on it. You can basically make it try to be a bit more better than the original. But the question is, for a third How the Grinch Stole Christmas, how can you? For the first one, it did a really good job of still staying true to the book. The sequel did a really good job with fleshing out the Grinch and making it so we see his backstory. But how can you make a third one? How can you make a third How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Here's a little bit of what I'm thinking. You can maybe make it so the Who's have more story in it. You can say maybe have a little bit of how they celebrate Christmas, something like that. But Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas for me is one I'm excited for, but it just depends on how well they're going to stay true to the source material. Because that's how some sequels today and back then weren't that good, because they didn't stay true to the source material. But now let's get on to number 9, which is another sequel. The Nut Job 2. Well, to be honest, The Nut Job was a meh movie for me. It had some good moments, had some moments I would question, but they made a sequel. Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature. Now, this is about Surly, voiced by Will Arnett, and his animal friends spring into action when the evil mayor, voiced by Bobby Moynihan, sorry I didn't pronounce that right, of Oakton, plans to bulldoze the park that they live in. And it sounds like a good movie on paper, but when you put it on movie, it just doesn't feel right. It just felt like the Nut Job just deserved only one sequel. Just a movie that just only needed one. But now let's get on to a reboot on this list. The Smurfs reboot. But everyone knows that's actually called Smurfs The Lost Village. The Smurfs sadly haven't had a good run when it came to Sony making movies, with only making 2 live action and them being CGI. But the question is, and also a couple for Small Short for the holidays, but will this be a good reboot? Maybe let's look at the story and see if it will help. Smurfette, a mysterious map sends Smurfette, brainy, clumsy, and hefty of all Smurfs, through the forbidden forest, leading to the discovery of the biggest secret in Smurfs history. Now, I'm not going to go into spoiler territory because in this channel, I want to keep it spoiler free for 50% of the time. But I just want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to respect everyone's wishes to not be spoiled and not spoil anything. But this might be a better retelling because it'll span more on the lore of Smurfs and actually showing a little bit of where they came from, a little bit of, say, maybe like an origin story, but not fully an origin. So like just saying, here's a little bit of where they came from, but we're not going to show you all of it. Number 7 on our list is the Lego Batman movie. Now this is an interesting spin-off, and by the time of actually recording this, the movie actually did came into theaters, and people do love it. Now, this is interesting because Batman has actually had a lot of animated appearances. Mostly, some are Legos because of, well, Lego Batman, And some, for only this one, the only one that happened once for, say, a year was the Lego movie. And that was actually a really good version of Batman, just poking fun at the Dark Knight. And now he's appeared for, it's for a comic action movie with references to the other Batmans. And now I think it might be a good movie. I just haven't seen it yet, so it just depends. Number 6 on our list is one that Sony Pictures Animations. How much are they making for this? Let's see, there's Dr. Dr. Seuss, Smurfs, Captain Underpants, that's... Oh, 4. Okay, 4. Okay, number 6, let's do this before I go fully crazy. Number 6 is Captain Underpants, the one that's coming out actually this year. When I was little, I actually used to read the series, and also, I just loved it for how much it poked fun at, say, superhero costumes or their origin stories. It just did a really good job with the comedy. But the question is, why no child voice actors? I know that kids can be a little bit hard to work with, but it just really depends on, say, the type of kid. And that's just my nitpick for some movies, that they don't have child voice actors for it. But the question is, what parts of the books will they use for it? But here's the thing, they're gonna have to use the first one for the origin. Second one might work, but it has to do with aliens, and then the pacing for that will just be really bad if they just do aliens and then third book. So what I'm thinking they're gonna do is first book and then the third book. That's all I'm gonna say, but it just really depends on if DreamWorks will still pay homage to the books, and if, say, Dave Pilkey will make a cameo appearance, just like for Goosebumps, which was also made by Sony. They're just making a lot of book reboots there. It's just interesting, if you will. Number 5 on our list, and the fourth one that Sony's making, is The Star. Christmas is a time of spending with family and learning a little bit the Nativity story. But the story of the Nativity has actually happened with every single perspective, all except one. The perspective of animals. This has happened before with Rakin and Bases, Nestor the long-eared Christmas donkey, but I think a lot of people will want to see a little bit of a modernized one. Basically showing a little bit of, say, animals telling their story of it. And I've actually seen the synopsis, which I'll put a link in the description, and I think it might be a really good movie. It just depends on how much they're going to still make it original, but also make it so it's, well, still a nativity story in a way. But number 4 is, well, Coco. Now here's the thing. When I'm talking Coco, I'm not meaning Tapu Coco, and I'm not meaning Hot Coco. I am meaning Coco, Disney's Pixar's Coco. Now, Coco is a movie I'm actually really excited for because, well, it might have the part of the story being an old band of music for some reason, or like Footloose with dancing, and Disney's Ariel, The Little Mermaid, Ariel's beginnings, with the same premise in a way. But the main character, Miguel, rebels and plays, well, music. The photo and synopsis might already tell you the whole movie, but I'm just going to make this still a spoiler-free zone, everyone. But I'm just going to say one thing. Just look at the picture, look at the synopsis, and think, will this guitar in the picture play a big role in the movie? Okay, now we're going to get up to number 3. Number 3 is, well, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic movie. This one I'm excited for a couple of reasons. One, name one recent LLP movie that isn't a spin-off, not also counting past gens. 0. 0. recent LP movies, like mainstream, if you will. This will be actually the very first one for the franchise, and for me, it'll be really cool because we already have news about some of these characters. We already know the voice actors, the looks of them, and also know a little bit about them. So I'm not going to go into full spoilers, but just say they're really cool. But this will be just a personal nitpick, but after when the DVD comes out and everyone's got it, the voice of reason will retire. But I'm happy for him. He has inspired a lot of people, and I'm just gonna not be a fan of when he goes after this movie. After when it comes out on DVD, if you will. But now, it is time. It is time for the last two top 10, last two animated movies. Number 2 on our list is Despicable Me 3. 2 and then 3. This Despicable Me franchise has been really good, with really good story, with really good characters, but for some people, Minions wasn't a good movie, and some people called it either a money waster and or a time waster, and or if you're some people, both. Yeah, let's just say people didn't like Minions. But the trailer makes me think that it's actually going to be really good. And I've already thought of a couple ways on how to make Despicable Me 3 work. With, say, meeting old characters, with a little bit of actually saying drama. And yeah, I think Despicable Me 3 might be a really good movie for 2017. But one movie can actually top off Despicable Me 3 of all movies. Well, this is the underdog of all movies. This is a movie that some people have not heard of, but some people have because they saw the demo for it, saw the demo animation for it. Number 1 for my top 10 animated movies for 2017 is Animal Crackers. Do you remember those animal crackers that when you ate one of them, you turn into a certain animal? No one remembers them. Just only that guy. Okay. Well, this looks like a really good movie, and the poster may not say anything, but it actually does. It says a lot in this movie. Basically, it's telling you a little bit of what's MacGuffin in the movie, what's basically going to be used for said thing. It's showing you a little bit of how it's going to work. And I have an idea for a start, a middle, and well, an end for it. And here's just a little bit of the story if you don't know. A circus family is going to be closing down shop for their circus if they cannot get enough money. The main character of a story, which I'm just gonna nickname him Jack for some reason, just maybe James. But basically, he finds this box of animal crackers, which then after he ate one, he turned into that certain animal, and then thought of using them for the circus and try saving it from our main villains of the story. And this is actually really cool because it's actually extremely original. And that's what I really love about certain movies, that they're fully original, that they're not reboots, and they're not third of a single movie. But if you want me to make, say, a video of what Animal Cracker should be for a story, put in the comments down below. And I have a big question for everyone. What is your favorite movie that you're excited for 2017 animated version? What's a movie that's animated are you excited for? Are you excited as much as myself for Animal Crackers, or are you more of a Coco? Are you more a fan of just eating some Animal Crackers, or are you more a fan of just drinking some hot chocolate? Ah, it burns. It burns. I'm joking, Jackson, and I'll see you tricksters later. But before I go, why not say like the video, share with friends, and maybe even subscribing if you're new to my channel. Every subscriber we get feels like getting a sub sandwich from Subway. It just feels fresh, it just feels amazing, and just seeing you subscribing makes me feel like getting a sub sandwich from your local Subway. I'm Joking Jackson, and I'll see you later.